presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And Cardinals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. This all-important weekend series continues, and tonight it's game number 2, the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Francisco Giants. Jim Hayes is here. That's Tim McCarver. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. The Cardinals, in this important game, turn to one of their youngsters, and it's Luke Weaver.
Yeah, I'll bet you 6 months ago, Luke Weaver, pitching for the minor league Springfield Cardinals, didn't realize he'd be pitching in a game as big as this. Well, he pitched in a big one on Sunday against Milwaukee. He's fared very well. Even though his record's 1-2, he has 39 strikeouts in his 6 starts. He's been dynamite.
So Luke Weaver goes for the Cardinals. It'll be Matt Moore, a left-hander, going for the San Francisco Giants. We'll have more on these young guns. Weaver, Reyes, Martinez. Maybe the key to the postseason for the Cardinals. Game 2 is coming up. from AT&T Park here in San Francisco. A look at our Budweiser What's on Tap, including tonight. 3 games left with San Francisco, then Colorado and Chicago to wrap up the road portion of the schedule. If the Cardinals do get into postseason play, they need the youngsters to step up. That begins tonight with right-hander Luke Weaver. He is 23 years of age. Alex Reyes recently just turned 22. He'll go Sunday here against San Francisco. And then Monday night at Colorado, it is Carlos Martinez, the 24-year-old. The future, without question, is now for the St. Louis Cardinals. When we come back, it's our first pitch for Mike Matheny's club to face Matt Moore. Luke Weaver going for St. Louis. Game 2 is coming up. Is brought to you by Budweiser. Not backing down since 1876. This Bud's for you. By Chevrolet. Visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Amazingly, that's how Tim got to the ballpark today and survived.
It's the only way to travel in this area.
Absolutely. 58 degrees, chilly night here in San Francisco. Jim Hayes is here. Tim McCarver, Dan McLaughlin. We're at AT&T Park, game 2 of this 4-game series. Matt Carpenter leads it off, followed by Aledmys Diaz, then Steven Piscotty, Jed Jerko, Yadier Molina, Johnny Peralta, Randall Grichuk, Tommy Pham, and Luke Weaver. And Tim, not only important, obviously, between these two teams chasing the wild card, the Mets have already posted a victory today as you get a look at the numbers for Matt Moore.
Bartolo Colon, a shutout through 7 innings, winning his 13th game of the season, closing in on Juan Marichal for the Dominican lead. The starting pitchers, Juan Marichal, the Hall of Famer here with the San Francisco Giants. And was he ever a dandy? His nickname, as a matter of fact, the Dominican Dandy.
So look at Matt Moore as we wait to start with our first pitch. He beat the Diamondbacks in his last start as he allowed 2 runs over 7 innings. He matched a career high with 11 strikeouts. And the first pitch from the lefty is in for a strike, and here we go for game 2. Carpenter hitting .272. 19 home runs, and he has driven in 61 this year.
That's a good breaking ball from Moore. He will feature a four-seam fastball, a changeup to right-handers, and that good curveball to lefties.
And the 0-2 pitch. Carpenter singles and a base hit into right center field. Hyundai pitch arsenal on the former Tampa Bay Ray, and that's Matt Moore. Fastball, curve, change, and cutter that Tim talked about.
Matt throwing Matt Carpenter a lollipop on an 0-2 count. That was a hanging curveball. Fastball, curve, and Carpenter jumped on the third pitch.
Here's Aledmys Diaz back in the starting lineup tonight. And pushes it foul for strike one. His on-base percentage on the road is .409 and has some of the best numbers in this lineup this season away from Busch Stadium. Such a big key for the Cardinals. Cardinals believe they can get him to start playing every day. Did not play last night after the day game in St. Louis. Could be two, taken there by Nunez. Out at second, out at first, double play. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs. Pagan, Span, and Pence in the outfield. Nunez, Crawford, Panic, and Belt on the infield. Buster Posey behind the plate.
Danny, we talked about Luke Weaver being 23 years old. Well, when Matt Moore was 22 years, 104 days in the divisional opener, Tampa Bay against Texas, he won that game, becoming the youngest pitcher to open a postseason series and beat the Texas Rangers. And I'm sure Cardinal fans remember the Texas Rangers in 2011, huh?
Oh, yeah. And he's now 27. And entering the season of 2014, he was considered one of the best young lefties in the game.
Tommy John surgery later. He's only pitched in 14 games coming into this season, and the Giants hopped on, picked him up, and he has pitched very well for them.
Giants traded Matt Duffy to Tampa Bay to pick up this lefty. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Tapped foul by Piscotty. Well, the idea was you have Samardzija, Bumgarner, Cueto. This would be a nice number 4, but they've had issues with that rotation, and his starts take now greater importance down the stretch.
They're a little stronger rotation than the Cardinals because of injuries to guys like Michael Wacha and ineffectiveness from others. Thing about Moore, he will throw the breaking ball behind in the count.
The 2-2. Piscotty's been very good against left-handed pitching this year. The only regular that has an average above 300 against the lefties. Start to play tonight at 311. Two balls and 2 strikes on the Cardinals right fielder. Little changeup, struck him out. Leadoff single by Carpenter, erased on a double play, and a strikeout of Stephen Piscotty. one run over 6 innings. That was Sunday at Busch Stadium. Took a no decision. An eventual 2-1 loss for the Cardinals. This being his 7th major league start. And as you mentioned, Tim, none bigger than tonight. Angel Pagan will lead it off, followed by Joe Panik and Buster Posey. Then Hunter Pence and the big 2-run homer yesterday. Brandon Belt, then Brandon Crawford, Eduardo Nunez, Denard Span, and the pitcher Matt Moore.
You know, Dan, when you think about it, the toughest thing for a young pitcher or a young player in the middle of September, you're in a pennant race, is not to get geared up. It's to take a step back. Take a step back and relax. Let your stuff come through, and that's what Luke will try to do tonight.
First pitch to Pagan is taken for a ball. Calling the balls and strikes tonight. Liz Diaz, the crew chief. Corey Blazer down at first. Brian Onora at second. Doug Eddings is at third. Luke doesn't walk many. Very good changeup.
Only 8 walks and 39 strikeouts, a great percentage.
Pagan is 9 for his last 56. In an offense that clearly has been struggling here for Bruce Bochy. Bochy has won 3 World Series titles. 10th season now in San Francisco.
Bruce has 2 sons. They're 8 years apart. And Bruce said it's similar to his career because during his career he had 1 hit every 8 years.
Right. Pretty darn good manager, though.
Great sense of humor and a super manager.
That's it out of play. And a former catcher. 2 former catchers managing here tonight, Bruce Bochy and Mike Matheny. And it just makes sense. You know, a catcher sees so much in a game and in every pitch as to why catchers become good managers.
Does that mean Yadier Molina will make a good manager? Yes. To give you an idea about Bochy's sense of humor, though, the Giants in 2012 lost to the Cincinnati Reds 2 games in a row, and handing the lineup cards out in Cincinnati before game 3. Keep in mind they were 0-2. Bruce told Dusty Baker, the Cincinnati manager, we'll try to do better today.
A swing and a miss by Pagan, and that's how we start tonight's action for Luke Weaver.
And oh, by the way, the Giants came back and won 3 in a row and then won the World Series that year.
Cardinals defensively, Pham, Grichuk, Biscotti in the outfield, Peralta, Diaz, Jerko, Carpenter on the infield, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate. Here's Joe Panik. He is the hardest in Major League Baseball to strike out. Strike out once every 11 at-bats.
I know this sounds strange, but that can be a detriment to a hitter. Some hitters cannot swing the bat without making contact. Now, the reason it's a detriment is sometimes the pitcher makes the good pitch and you make contact on his terms and make an out. And there's no way that you can get away from that. You can't come out and try to swing through balls. Instead of batting practice, come out and, yeah, I'll work on that. I'll swing through pitches.
I like what you said, on his terms.
On a pitcher's terms, and you don't want to do that.
A lot of times it's a ground ball, roll it over. They're trying to pitch to contact. 2-2. For whatever reason, there are certain teams that struggle when they see a pitcher for the first time. Both these clubs can lay claim to that. The Giants have struggled against pitchers they haven't seen. The Cardinals' recent history, that's been the case too.
That's right.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Weaver.
Weaver elevating, coming inside, and that's what you want to do to a left-handed batter, because that ball down and in, that is the pure area for a left-handed hitter. There's not a left-handed hitter alive that doesn't like it down and in. That's why Luke Weaver elevated that fastball.
Here's a couple of guys from Florida State squaring off. Buster Posey and Luke Weaver.
FSU.
Mike Martin, longtime head coach at Florida State, and I did a number of their games, whether it be down at Florida State or in a super regional. He said Buster Posey is the finest player we've ever had come through this program. And remember, he started as a shortstop there. Then they thought, well, he might be able to catch, so they put him behind the plate. He was so good, then he pitched.
Yeah, I was going to say somewhere in that mix, he pitched.
Tim, he was a closer.
Got a great arm.
He started behind the plate for certain games, would catch for 8 innings, then go on the mound and close it out.
Who would he pitch to?
Exactly.
Loves to go to right field with 2 strikes. This guy's a very intelligent hitter. In San Francisco, all the talk is no home runs since July 16th. Last night, however, he had 4 hits.
And Weaver, what a start, strikes out this side in the bottom of the first. 1 inning in the books, and there's no score. Is brought to you by T-Mobile. Chicago Cubs, in a day that they celebrate, they walk off the Milwaukee Brewers. Bartolo Colon, his 30th start of the year tonight. 7 innings, as Tim mentioned. The Mets win, and Seattle, only 2 out in the wild card. They have won 8 straight. Greater coverage of Major League Baseball presented by T-Mobile.
Try and figure out Bartolo Colon, huh?
He's 43.
Unbelievable.
And Tim, there are so many guys that have pitched for a long time in the game, but at this age, not many have made 30 starts in a season at the age of 43. Jed Jerko with a high drive out to center. Denard Span backing up, and he makes the catch for the first out. We will have a very special treat for our Cardinal fans coming up next inning, as we will hear from the Hall of Famer Orlando Cepeda. He'll be with us next inning, the MVP of that great '67 team.
Rookie of the year for these Giants in 1958. He had 603 plate appearances that year. 603. And won the Rookie of the Year award. And then the MVP in '67, as you said, Dan.
Yadier Molina on the first pitch, pops it up, slams his bat. Panic on the outfield grass, makes the catch. Quickly 2 outs.
I remember a game Bob Gibson was starting in New York, and the bus was supposed to leave at 5 o'clock. It's about 3 minutes after 5, and Red Shandy said, well, that's enough. You can wrap it up. We're going out to Shea. And Gibson was pitching that night, and he said, is Cepeda on this bus? And we looked around, and nobody could find him. And Gibson said, we're not going out there until Cepeda shows up. A couple of minutes later, Orlando got on the bus. We went to New York.
I don't blame Bob.
No. He was not going out on the mound that night in New York without Cepeda at first.
Here's Johnny Peralta hitting .243. That pitch taken high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's a 1-1. Good changeup.
Good changeup right there.
Seen a couple of those, haven't we?
Orlando Cepeda, one of the greatest teammates I ever had.
Well, you played in 4 decades, so that's saying something. Orlando doesn't have a headset on, and he just said, I feel the same way.
One of my closest friends.
Peralta out to center, and it drops in for a base hit. The Cardinals have their 2nd hit of the night.
Well, last night it started so innocently for the Giants with 2 outs and nobody on. Buster Posey had a broken bat base hit to right field, and then Hunter Pence hit an 0-2 curveball off Adam Wainwright to put the Giants up 2-0. And this guy right here can hit a home run in any ballpark. This being one of the toughest parks in the majors to homer in.
Spacious park, beautiful ballpark, but these cool nights knocks it down. You just don't see a lot of home runs.
You know, Dan, it's a good park for triples and doubles, but not home runs.
I think you could say that about the National League West and those ballparks.
Colorado's like that.
Arizona, the ball flies out of there, but
yeah.
Dodger Stadium, pretty spacious.
Sure. San Diego.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Randal Grichuk. Well, Moore has been very good in the 2nd half. Opponents only hitting .202 against him. And this being start number 9 wearing that Giants uniform.
You mentioned Dodger Stadium. On August 25th, Moore pitched 8 2/3 innings of no-hit ball. The no-hitter broken up by Corey Seager, the shortstop of the Dodgers.
Seager hits from the left side. It was a pitch that was in. He broke his bat, little looper out to right. Clean hit, and the no-no was done. The 2-1 pitch. Another changeup.
You throw breaking balls in fastball counts in the major leagues, and you can win. And that's what Matt Moore does. Behind in the count, you almost have to think along with him.
The 2-2. Grichuk, ground ball that's hit to short. Brandon Crawford, a flip to panic. A treat for Cardinal fans. Orlando Cepeda will be our guest when we come back. Restaurant here at AT&T Park. The MVP in 1967 hit .325, 25 home runs, a National League best 111 RBIs, and unanimous choice for MVP. We got the chance to do this last year with you, Orlando. We had such a great response from the fans in St. Louis. Great to see you again.
I love it. I have a wonderful time.
You know, and next year, the 1967 team will be honored, Orlando, and you will be there, I hope, for the
team,
festivities. Yeah.
Wow. Can't wait. I can't wait.
That 2.5 years of bliss for you, wasn't it?
Amazing. I remember when I got there and they trained me in '67. I was sad, you know, playing here all my life.
First trade's tough.
Yeah. And then Tim told me, that's enough, Orlando. You sat for a couple of days, forget it, Giant. Now you're here now. Forget it. Let's go.
And a week later, we went to see Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66 because I'd heard you love music. Yeah. I love music. The Brazilian dance craze was hot then. I mean, really hot. And you end up becoming friends. You'd never heard of Sergio Mendes. You became friends with, still are.
You turned me on Jose Feliciano, too.
Jose Feliciano. Here I am turning you on to Latin music. I mean, go figure.
It'll be the 50th anniversary of the '67 club, and there'll be a lot of giveaways around that team, celebrating the 50 years there, and also the 1987 team as well, team that went to the World Series. Orlando, when you think of your time back in St. Louis, what comes to mind?
Everything. You know, I play here with Willie Mays, the best player ever. Juan Marichal, Felipe Lu,
Willie McCovey.
So many great players. But when I went to St. Louis, I never see a team that worked together so well.
Base hit by Brandon Belt.
You know, we came to play every single day.
And we never had the talent that San Francisco had.
Wow.
Not even close.
I mean, we play every game like the last game of the World Series. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, when I tell people about that ball club, amazes me.
Never made mistakes on the bases.
Never. And then we got Roger Maris.
And Mike Shannon moving to third base. That really made the ball club.
Roger was a great player.
One of the great people.
Every day.
Here's Brandon Crawford with a runner at first base, and that swung on and missed as Weaver has struck out the first 4 he has seen. Base hit by Belt. When you think back to that year and 1967, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Harry Carey help you get a house and help you find a house?
Yes.
He did.
In how do you call the place? I was the first black living there.
Is that right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a double play ball as Diaz steps on the bag, throws to first for the double play. You're sticking with us here for a little bit during the commercial break. That's too quick. Love having you here. Orlando Cepeda.
You make it.
Ray Sadecki. By the way, happy birthday tomorrow. You'll be 79.
Yep.
So happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So Tim wanted me to go back to this story with Harry Carey. Olivet, Missouri, correct?
Olivet, Missouri. Yeah, I remember.
And all your neighbors, you were the first black to move into that area.
Right.
And all your neighbors came down to welcome you.
Yeah, everybody came to my house to say welcome. And they have a policeman there. 24 hours.
I have never heard that
when
story.
we were on the road, they were there in front of my house.
Is that right?
Yeah, I took care of and said, "Pera, whatever you need." I mean, amazing.
Great.
They make me feel wanted right from the beginning.
There's a slow tapper that is fair. Tommy Pham is safe at first, so the Cardinals have their third hit of the night.
Boy, that's a great play by Nunez. I mean, this guy's a pretty good-looking ball player.
Good ball player. Great to the base. Yeah.
Fast, 36 stolen bases, strong arm.
This year?
Yeah. Yeah. He had 29 with, or he had 27 with Minnesota, and he has 9 with the Giants.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So when you got to St. Louis, you were dealing with some knee issues, and did the Giants, you know, was it a situation where they say, well, we're going to give up on you because you're not healthy and that's it? Or, you know, why did that all happen for you to get that trade to St. Louis?
Well, Dr. Mitterman checked me on Friday. So
This is 1966, like June 14th, 15th, something like that.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, I think, right.
Mother's Day. So I gave it a good knee.
Oh, you you gave him the good knee, not the bad one.
Red, the sky is ready. Yeah.
The fans are thankful you did that, believe it.
I know, yeah.
But they said you're okay. Sadecki went to San Francisco, but it was a hard trade for you, wasn't it? I mean,
very hard.
You'd been with this team almost 10 years.
But the way they did it, same, you know, Herman Franks and somebody else, really make it hard for me. But thanks to you and to Brock, you made me feel. We went to Chicago, remember? After that,
yes,
we went to Detroit.
Ozark Airlines was on strike at the time.
Right.
We went to Chicago, and I mean, he fit like a glove because you could flat out play. That's why.
Well, you know, you need that. You need somebody who build you up and let you know you're wanted. And these people, they did it. Team did it for me.
Was it tough then to leave St. Louis?
Yes.
You left for Joe Torre in the spring of 1969 and went to Atlanta. And when he was with Atlanta, he came in. The Braves came in like the first month or two of the '69 season, and I called for a changeup off of I think
What's his name?
Chuck.
Right-handed pitcher.
The right-hander. I called for. He hits it. Orlando hit it 9 miles. First changeup I'd call for against him, and he crossed home plate. He said, "Dimmy, you know you don't throw the baby bull a changeup." And I had to laugh, and he was right. He hit it 9 miles.
I was doing a little research on you. You might be the most decorated athlete from Puerto Rico. You're part of 14 Hall of Fames. 14. How'd you get into so many Hall of Fames?
We have so many. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, 14.
From Puerto Rico?
Yeah, you. Nobody else a part of that many.
Wow.
Tell you, the man knows more stuff.
As that ball gets away and Tommy Pham advances to second base, so that'll be a error on Matt Moore. But I'm assuming you take great pride in being from Puerto Rico and seeing players like Yadier Molina and Carlos Correa and Carlos Beltran, and you were one of the first guys to really lead the way into Major League Baseball.
Well, you know, I feel proud about that because before I came to the state to play ball, no Puerto Rican used to come here.
Right.
No Puerto Rican. So when I came here in 1955, it was hard, tough.
Played in Kokomo, hit 393 in Kokomo.
But I went to Virginia before Kokomo.
Oh.
Settled Virginia, hit at 150. It was so hard, you know.
The travel.
The issue. black.
Yeah, a new culture. Yeah, black man.
Right.
Yeah.
3 seasons, 58 home runs, 242 RBIs. World Series champion and the MVP of 1967, Orlando Cepeda. That's the some of those highlights against the Detroit Tigers in the World Series of '68. '67 was against Boston. A strike to Matt Carpenter.
'68 Orlando with the 3-run home run in Game 4, I believe. And then I hit one later. I had a 3-run home run later. We went 7-4.
You have a statue outside this ballpark. What does it mean to be back with the Giants in this community, and you know how well you are received and loved here with San Francisco?
Well, I'm so fortunate. I'm a very fortunate person. You know, be able to have a statue there. You go to the Hall of Fame. Play in the big league for 17 years. Play with Tim McCarver and Bob Gibson and Lou Brock, Kurt Flood, Woody Mays, McCovey. What else do you want in life?
But you saw me hit when I was young, and you said this kid's not going to make it.
Why did you say that?
Well, you know, we haven't met him before the game. And you just came from...
I came up from Atlanta. From Atlanta, yeah.
Tim McCarver. Tim McCarver. Okay, Felipe was playing left field. I said, Felipe, coming in, we're going to throw fastball away and let it hit it to left field. He used to hit, you know. Yeah.
Hands up close,
yeah,
right.
And George
Schultz.
No, but George Crow, who helped you?
George Crow. George Crow worked with me in the minor leagues, yes.
And the ground ball out off the bat of Carpenter, advancing Tommy Pham.
Yeah, George Crow helped me a great deal, and that changed my life in baseball. But the 67th season, Charlie, your nickname was Charlie, and everybody who knows you from that team calls you Charlie. Does anybody else call you Charlie?
But Charlie came from San Francisco.
Oh, we did? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
We play in Portland, Oregon. So it's a black guy named Charlie. So we played there in 1958 against the AAA team, Omaha. It was Omaha. Yeah. So when we got to the hotel, the black guy with a white hat, straw hat, named Charlie, came looking for me. So we went to the ballpark. Then Bowman's brother.
Bob Bowman.
Yeah,
Bob
his
Bowman.
brother, trainer.
He was
Frank.
a trainer for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and then it's like, called me Charlie. He said, call Orlando Charlie. So now Tim called me Charlie. Gibson called me Charlie. Roger called me Charlie. So I'm Charlie.
There you go.
And
the rest is history.
Changed his name.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike here on Aledmys Diaz.
You know, Antonelli was here. Tony Antonelli. Remember him?
Sure.
You never faced him?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I remember Johnny Antonelli, too.
Johnny Antonelli?
Johnny Antonelli.
Yeah. He's the one who put me Cha-Cha. He's the one who called me Cha-Cha.
Is that right?
Yeah. But let me tell you this. I played for the Cardinals for number 3 years. I really, really enjoy playing there.
Diaz safe, and that allows Pham to score. I don't know if you knew this, though. You wouldn't believe, we had you on the air last year, and a lot of our fans hadn't heard from you in a long time. They loved it. They loved hearing from Orlando Cepeda, and you should know that you have a very special place in the Cardinals organization.
Well, my friend worked in New York for JetBlue, and the CEO for JetBlue is from St. Louis. So when he found out that this kid here know me, he went crazy.
Is that right?
Yeah. I have some great friends from wherever I go. I'm from St. Louis. I remember you very well. It's a great town. I'll tell you one thing. I can say I've been so lucky in my career. in my life.
Baseball reigns supreme in that town.
Yeah.
They love their Cardinals. He was safe, it looked like to me. I think they ought to overturn the... Well, actually, they got the safe call, right?
Ruled safe, so they're going to take a look at that. Bruce Bochy.
Orlando, you haven't had a chance to see Aledmys Diaz play very much. This guy can play.
Where he from?
From Havana.
Well, the big kid was in third base?
Aledmys Diaz. He's
right
shortstop. Shortstop right there in your picture. I mean, he can flat. He's
he's a shortstop. Yeah. He was hurt.
He can really play.
That's right.
He broke his thumb. He broke his thumb in early August.
He can do it.
And he's been out. He can flat out play. We discuss. I've got a place out here on the left coast, and Orlando and I have dinner together occasionally, once every 6 weeks or so. Oh boy! Wow! I didn't think that would be overturned. You stick around for another half inning?
Yeah.
Good.
Bush is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Get MLB.com at bat on your favorite devices now. I've had so many people. We do a speaker series back home in St. Louis. We've had Bob Gibson and Red Shane-Deanston, Ozzie Smith, and Willie McGee. And sometimes we're asked about, with the fans that are there, they're asked about their favorite players. I can't tell you how many people say Orlando Cepeda is my favorite player. And you were only there for 3 years in St. Louis, but that's the impression you made in that great baseball city.
I mean, to be as popular as you were in 2 different cities. I mean, here, the Baby Bull, they love the Baby Bull from 1958, the Rookie of the Year. And the great years you had.
Nunez with a fly ball into right center, and Piscotty makes the catch.
The World Series in 1962, and you beat the Dodgers in the playoff, winning 2 out of 3.
Who are the players today that you like to watch?
I like Carlos Correa.
Shortstop with the Astros. Great player.
Baez from Chicago Club. Baez. I just watch him play.
Javier Baez.
Lightning fast bat. Lightning fast. And can throw.
He can play.
Yes, he can.
He can play. Lindor from Cleveland.
Yep.
Play Puerto Rico.
Well, I got the theme there. I get it. How about Yadier Molina?
Amazing.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, all the best. How old is he?
34.
34.
Caught more innings than any other catcher in baseball this year. And yet is still like a 285 lifetime hitter. 285. for a guy who plays every day, loves to play.
We're seeing, though, the influx of talent coming in from Puerto Rico. More and more and more.
And now, more than ever.
Absolutely.
Right now, more than ever.
I've told you this over the years, and I've told Dan also that one of my prized possessions was the picture that we took for Sports Illustrated, and I was between you and Clemente.
That picture is in the Facebook. Do you see it?
Yes, yes.
Lately?
I didn't see it lately. No.
Yeah, it's right now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I got it in my telephone there.
It's one of my prized possessions because I told the photographer, I said, I don't belong between those two guys. And Clemente heard that, and he said, the heck you don't. Get down here. And I've never forgotten
right
Clemente
now,
because of that.
I'm not finished. I'm going to show it to you. You, me, and Roberto. Right now, it's in the Facebook. People send it to me.
I didn't know that.
Pitch taken high by Denard Span, and it brings in the pitcher, Matt Moore. Our guest is Orlando Cepeda, the 1967 MVP. You and Albert Pujols, I believe this is true, but you and Pujols are the only players in the history of baseball to be unanimous Rookies of the Year and a unanimous choice for the MVP as well.
Somebody told me that.
Pretty incredible.
Somebody told me that.
It took a while, but you get in the Hall of Fame, and you should have been in there earlier. What did it mean to go into the Hall for you?
Well, you know, sometimes it means that way. If I get it too fast, I didn't enjoy it the way I did it when they called me and told me you made it. You know. Because I say to myself,
Molina hops on it and throws high into center field. Span looked to be tied up a little bit there with Diaz. He's looking back at the second base umpire, Brian O'Nora.
Guys, that brings back visions of Alan Craig, who scored in the World Series from third base when he tangled up with
Will Middlebrooks.
Will Middlebrooks. Molina's throw was high, and Diaz just stays there. Or is that Jerko? I beg your pardon.
No, it's Diaz.
Oh, it is Diaz.
Yep. Orlando, are you one of those Hall of Famers that goes back every year to Cooperstown?
yes, every year.
You wouldn't miss it, would you?
No. Every day I say to myself, wow, Orlando, you are the Hall of Fame. So, wow, what a treat. You too.
Well, as a broadcaster, not as a player.
Still special.
What about Memphis?
Memphis Hall of Fame. I'm in the high school Hall of Fame.
I know.
Hey, he had a stadium named after him, too. I mean,
well, yeah.
Orlando came down to Memphis several times, as a matter of fact. He and Bob Gibson, Kurt Flood.
Yeah.
Here's Angel Pagan, runners at first and second. No score here in the bottom of the third.
The thing about those teams, the Cardinal teams of the late 60s, was that we exuded fun. We had more fun playing the game. And you might say, well, you had guys like Gibson and Cepeda and Brock and, you know, Roger Maris. And you should have had fun. But, I mean, we worked as a team about as well as it was, as Orlando said, perfect teamwork.
You know, before the game, great time. But 15 minutes before the game, we were changed. You know what I mean? Remember in '68 that we lost like 13 straight games? Beginning of '68, we lost so many games.
We had a bad start. I know that.
Yeah, it was 13 games. And we finished like
15 out in front.
And there's a walk to Pagan, so now the base is loaded. Rare walk issued by Weaver, but the second walk in this inning. Angel Pagan, also from Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Angel actually has a trainer by the name of Molina, who happens to be the cousin of Yadier Molina and trains Angel Pagan.
Well, Molina is a Puerto Rican.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of Molina in Puerto Rico.
Oh, there are.
Yeah, and they're all relatives.
Well, I think Yachty has such a good arm that a lot of times he thinks that he can make a play that he really can't.
Yeah, how did you view that play at second?
That's a play. I mean, that's a play that most catchers, because they have normal arms, will go to first base. But Yachty kind of penalized because he tried to do something. I mean, that would have been even if the throw's bang bang and a good throw, it would have been a tough play.
Now brings in Joe Panik with the bases loaded for the Giants, and only one out. So we can go ahead and mark it down. You will be in St. Louis next year.
I can't wait.
Awesome.
At the beginning of the year?
Probably first couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometime first couple of months.
So when they're gonna let me know?
We'll let you know.
Oh, trust me.
Don't worry about it.
You might be the first call.
Not sure, yeah. Great. I can't wait. I can't wait to see everybody. I miss Kurt Flood very much. I miss Kurt. How's Lou doing?
Lou's doing okay. I'm sure he's listening to our telecast tonight. He listens to most of them, especially with the Cardinals in the thick of things here. Tough situation for Weaver right here.
Here's a 2-0 pitch to Joe Panik, and that's taken low.
Lou Brown, great teammate, great friend, and I'd like to say hi to him.
So 3-0. Weaver doesn't walk many, but he's walked 2 in the inning, and you got a guy that doesn't strike out very often. Panik at the plate. Three and one.
He may take another pitch here, because you're going to get the fastball 3-2 if you take another fastball. But you give him a chance to get wild. We'll see what Panik does.
The air on Molina, just the second this year on Yachty. Throws on the mark. It might be a double play and out of the inning. High fly ball. Lifted into right center. And the catch is made by Piscotty. All 3 runners will tag up. Scoring is Denard Span, and the Giants have a 1-0 lead.
That's a tough area to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Right center, right there. It's a long way.
Yeah, that's a home run in most ballparks.
Yeah. Panik is a good fastball hitter.
Yeah, yeah. He hits this ball a long way. Guy with 10 home runs tracked down by Piscotty. And Steven getting it back quickly.
So now, 2 outs in second and third.
Now a good clutch hitter at the plate.
Yeah. Struck out first time up. Weaver struck out the first 4 he saw in this game. Orlando, I know you come to the ballpark a lot. How special is Buster Posey?
That kid's, you know, he played like 4 games in Arizona. Hitting the ball out of the infield for 4 games.
Fights it off, going out. Jerko won't get there. Buster Posey, a little bloop single to right. 3-0 San Francisco.
It's amazing, like last night, you know. The last 4 games that we played, we looked so bad. We looked so bad, you know, no life. Now we're playing St. Louis, fighting for the wild card, and start playing good ball.
Yeah, this game is vital for the Cardinals. I mean, the Cardinals, otherwise they're 3 back in the wild card. The Mets have won tonight.
They won tonight?
They won tonight 3-0 behind Bartolo Colon.
There's Hunter Pence, and strike one.
Bartolo Colon. This guy is a good ball player. Thanks.
Hunter Pence.
He's a gamer.
No argument here. This guy can play.
I watch him every day. He play hard every single. He can play in any team. That guy.
0-1 pitch. Hit up the middle and a base hit into center. It brings in Bell, who picked up the first base hit for the Giants back in the second.
And the ball back up the middle actually went through the legs of Luke Weaver.
Looks to be a bit unnerved right now.
Yes. He hasn't had anything happen to him, even close to this, in one inning of any of his starts this year.
Is he a rookie?
Luke
He
Weaver,
is.
yes, he is. 23 years old.
Runners at first and second. And the 1-0 pitch to Belt. Driven out to left. That's trouble. All the way to the wall. One runner's in. Here comes Pence. No throw by Diaz. 5-0 Giants.
On the Cardinal bullpen, hurriedly getting someone up. 5 unearned runs, all unearned in this inning.
Well, Tim, if that throw at second base is maybe a foot or two lower, it's a double play. He's out of the inning.
Yep.
Instead, it's an error. And now the wheel's coming off. Here's Brandon Crawford. 9th man to come to the plate this inning.
Good ball player, Crawford.
Oh, I'd say defensively, offensively.
We talked about Hunter Pence and how any team would love Pence. Any team would take this guy too.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Here's a 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Miguel Sokolovich throwing in the Cardinals pen. 5-0 Giants. A 2-0 changeup. Now 2-1. The history of the Cardinals franchise and the Giants. There's a picture just outside our booth. Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Orlando Cepeda, Gaylord Perry. Great history here in San Francisco. Three and 1.
Juan Marichal also in that picture.
That's right.
You faced him many times.
Boy, it was tough.
Very tough.
Very tough. Very tough.
When you get behind the hitter.
Throw you a screwball.
Yeah. In fact, he used to get behind.
Couldn't figure him out.
He used to get behind in purpose.
Yeah. Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Well, I never knew that.
He liked to get 2-0.
Why didn't you tell me that then?
And that's a base hit into right. Throw by Biscotti to the plate is in time. And I'm not so sure because Belt, I thought he was in there.
Yadier Molina did what he could. He made a quick tag, but I think Belt's foot was on the plate when the tag was made. Yeah, he's safe. It appeared. The tag on the left foot, but the left foot was on the plate when the tag was made.
This looks to be the second review that will not go the Cardinals' way.
Yeah, it does. Are you in favor of replay?
I'm confused.
That's a very good answer.
A lot of people are with it.
I'm confused.
I think fans are confused.
Yeah.
They don't know when to applaud.
Well, the
That's a
Cardinals,
tough call right there.
Cardinals have already started to walk out back onto the field.
Right.
Biscotti and right. Molina starts to put his gear back on in a game that is unraveling here in the third from the Cardinals' perspective.
Well, if the Giants don't get this call, I think there'll be a riot here at AT&T Park. Because the fans are already convinced that he was safe.
Well, they haven't decided yet.
Still waiting.
That's the thing. I mean, how can it take that long? And why does it take that long?
It's amazing what's happened here in San Francisco, from Candlestick to AT&T Park, and the amount of fan support, the championships. It's amazing. And he is safe. And looks like that'll be it for Luke Weaver. Orlando, we want to see you back in St. Louis next year. Happy birthday to you, and thank you so very much for being our guest. We can't thank you enough.
When Tim told me 2 months ago.
Couple of months ago, yeah.
Yeah, really can't wait. So thank you very much. Thank you.
You got
Appreciate
it.
that very
You
much.
got it.
I love you, my
Thank
friend.
you, my brother. I love it.
Chevy called to the pen, Miguel Sokolovich.
Okay.
Many thanks to Orlando Cepeda, the MVP of the 1967 team, for being our guest. BJC Healthcare difference maker, best record against the Cardinals since 2008. And on that list, the only team above 500, the San Francisco Giants. So here is Sokolovich, runner at second base. And Eduardo Nunez is the hitter. Game that got away from the Cardinals in Weaver in a hurry. Numbers on Miguel. 11th appearance.
Well, you can say that error by Yadier Molina, obviously the key play in this inning, but you had shoulder walks. You had the one walk to Span with one out and nobody on, and then after the throwing error, the walk to Angel Pagan. Loading the bases, 2 of the 3 runners were walks. That's not good.
Here's a 2-0. Span is 4 for his last 44.
Yeah.
What a neat man, Orlando Cepeda.
Good man, really is.
Thanks for setting that up.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
3-0 pitch.
I think from what people in St. Louis have told me, they just don't hear about him anymore.
Right.
And he's living out here in San Francisco. Doesn't get to St. Louis that much, but will be there next year. confirmed tonight. If we tell him in time, I'll handle that.
Tonight's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. Watching around the world, Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia. Welcome. Thank you for your service. 6-0 our score. 2 outs, 2 on. Denard Span takes a pitch inside.
I don't think anybody anticipated a game like this in the 4 games that these two teams were playing. Both teams were struggling coming in. And I think everybody thought for the most part they were going to be all low-scoring games.
Absolutely. Two teams that offensively have really struggled coming into the series.
Right.
Cardinals need a strike from Sokolovich. And he can't find the strike zone.
7 straight balls thrown by Miguel.
Here's a 3-0. Change up taken inside. Bases are loaded. Next time you want to grab seats, get the StubHub app. Not only will you find seats you love whenever you want, you can find the best seat for your buck when you sort by the best value. So get the StubHub app today. And a strike, 2 more. As Tim mentioned, the key play. Molina taking a chance at second base, and a ball that goes into center, and now all these runs unearned.
Tell me a starting pitcher that doesn't love to hit twice in an inning.
Oh boy. Jaime Garcia, former starter, now working out of the pen. You know, that's interesting. How is he going to get loose? How quickly can he get loose?
Yeah, because every time he's tried to get loose this year, it's been as a starter.
Here's the 0-2. And a strikeout of Moore. The Giants played 6. And it's all San Francisco. Sports and outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. By your local Volkswagen dealer. And taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger at Jack in the Box. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Beautiful look at AT&T Park. Opened in 2000, located in China Basin. Neighborhoods of South Beach and Mission Bay.
Danny, I guess beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, and right now the Giants seem to have a prettier outlook on this series, winning last night and up by 6 here in the 4th.
Well, it gets to a point, as you know, I mean,
sure,
just start looking at the numbers and you run out of time. Games left. Cardinals go to Colorado after the game on Sunday here against San Francisco. And then it's off to Wrigley Field in Chicago. 1 ball, 1 strike on Piscotty. Struck out his first time up. He'll be followed by Jerko and then Yadier Molina. So Jaime Garcia getting loose in the pen. There's that changeup again. That's been an effective pitch.
The players talk about pitchers like Matt Moore as a guy who pitches backwards. What that means is when he's ahead in the count, he throws fastballs. When he's behind in the count, he throws changeups and curveballs. And that so far has been the case with Matt Moore.
And it's fouled back.
1-2 count, fastball inside to Piscotty.
Here's a 1-2. Another play that is key in this game was Bruce Bochy and the challenge of Diaz on a potential infield hit, what could have been an RBI to put the Cardinals up 1-0 at that point.
Yeah.
Three and 2 the count. Piscotty with 41 hits against left-handed pitching this year. 20 have gone for extra bases. Now time is called. And it's a leadoff walk.
Look at this and look at that. Well, we had to change our keys to the game because Orlando Cepeda was on for much of the first 3 innings. So now it's up to the Cardinals to try to chip away. What else you going to do? Can't change the score. But the leadoff walk, we'll see where the Redbirds go from here.
Brings in Jed Jerko, fly to center field. Well, we've noticed how the changeup has been an effective pitch here for Matt Moore, and he's throwing it a lot more since he got to San Francisco. Primarily a 2-pitch pitcher with Tampa Bay, and they've encouraged him to throw a cutter and a changeup, and a cutter that was taught to him by Madison Bumgarner. 2-0. As a pitching coach, as a manager right now, this would be driving me bonkers.
Well, that's why you have to, if you're a catcher in a situation like this, you have to change your routine. Remember, you got a 6-run lead, so not as many breaking balls and changeups behind in the count.
2-0 is a fly ball into shallow right, and it drops. Piscotty safe at second base.
I mean, go figure. It's a 2-0 count. Jerko swings at ball 3. You think it's going to be the second out of the inning, and the ball drops. Stranger things have happened. Panic can't make the play. Matter of fact, I don't think he put a glove on it. Good base running by Stephen Piscotty. It's a tough play for him. He's caught in between. He sees it drop. Going to go back to first. Now he slides into second base.
Well, it is a full moon.
Yep.
Stranger things have happened.
Good an explanation as anything.
Here's Molina. Yachty, base hit into right. Piscotty being waved in. And the throw by Pence is to second base and offline, and the Cardinals get on the board. That makes it 6-1. The RBI for Molina, number 48.
Doesn't it always start with a leadoff walk? The walk with one out and nobody on by Luke Weaver. And now the walk with a 6-run lead. That just drives catchers and pitching coaches wild, as you said. So still first and second, nobody out. And the Cardinals are on the board with a marker.
Chip away your key.
Yeah. It's somebody to pop one. The Cardinals have not hit a home run in the first 1+ games here in San Francisco, and one of the tougher ballparks, even though the flags are blowing out to center field and to right field. Be tougher for a right-hander to hit a ball down the left field line out of the ballpark. That wind blowing out in center and right.
Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Johnny Peralta at the plate. The pitch taken high. Teams have split the 4 games so far this year. Next 3 games could decide home field advantage. It would decide home field advantage if they finish with identical records. Here's a 1-0. Inside, nowhere close. 2 balls, no strikes, and this crowd a little bit restless.
And Matt Moore has got to be thinking a little bit more than he would had he not walked Piscotty to lead off the inning. It can be a maddening game at times. Take nothing for granted.
Inside, 3-0. Grichuk on deck.
Are the chips stacked against the Cardinals? They have not come back from being 6 runs down this year. They have come back from being 4 runs down 5 times, but not 6.
3-1.
Now an ideal hitting situation for Johnny Peralta. Head in the count, and Moore with the 5-run lead. He's more inclined now to throw the fastball. We'll see. Peralta, good fastball hitter.
It's got to be a fastball.
I would think so.
3-1 pitch, and Peralta hits a fly ball into center. Denard Span is there, makes the catch. You don't see much emotion from Johnny Peralta, but right there he's upset.
Yeah.
Be among the first people to see Fox's new drama pitch on Monday, September 19th at Ballpark Village. Then stick around, and after that, see the Cardinals take on the Rockies. A free advanced screening of pitch Monday at 6:30 at Ballpark Village. Here's Randal Grichuk. 1 out. Runners at first and second. Now time is called.
Cardinals need something to happen that is a shock to the system of the Giants.
Absolutely. Strike 1. Jaime Garcia warmed up, walked back to the dugout, and now he's throwing again. Oh, 2. Oh, 2 pitch. Struck him out. Moore picks up his 3rd strikeout. And with 2 down, it's Tommy Pham.
Well, Moore gets the call. Very close pitch on the outside corner. And Grichuk rung up by Las Diaz.
First and second, 2 down for Tommy Pham. Had an infield hit back in the 3rd. Breaking ball. Strike 1. Oh, 2. One ball and 2 strikes on Pham. You know, from the Cardinals' perspective, it's 6-1. And the way you have to look at it, as you mentioned in your key, chip away, but also get to this bullpen. I mean, the bullpen of the Giants has been awful at times here in the second half.
Dan, you mentioned it last night. The Giants have 15 pitchers in their bullpen. A lot from which to choose for Bruce Bochy.
Two and 2.
Cardinals had base runners in only 2 innings last night. The 3rd and the 4th, they scored 1 run on 5 hits in each inning. And that was it.
Tonight, base runners in each inning. 2-2. That Sunday, October 2nd, Fan Appreciation Weekend. A free ticket voucher, a schedule courtesy of Shelter, and also Six Flags Day. It's all coming up on October 2nd. Our Chevy call to the pen, and it is Jaime Garcia. So Garcia moves into the 9th spot, or rather the 8th spot in the Cardinals lineup. Jose Martinez is your new left fielder. He takes over for Tommy Pham. Jaime Garcia has been replaced in favor of Alex Reyes to start on Sunday. Jaime hasn't pitched out of the pen since his first season back in 2008. 25 runs he's given up in his last 27 1/3 the past 6 starts. So the Cardinals made that decision to go with Reyes.
So that's like almost 150 times that he has started over the last 7+ years, because he did miss some time, a lot of time on the DL. It's got to be strange for him here, but we'll see how he does.
It's the top of the lineup. Angel Pagan, Joe Panik, and Buster Posey. 1 pitch. Cardinals win with Alex Reyes after Garcia recorded just 5 outs in his last start. Bases were loaded. They went with Reyes. He picked up a strikeout that eventually picked up a win. And that was against the Chicago Cubs. 2 balls in 1 strike on Pagan, who has walked and scored and also struck out. Switch hitter, career high 11 home runs this year.
Garcia is not relaxed whenever a pitcher is in that same spot, up and away to right-handed batters. As badly as Garcia has been, he's rushing his pitches. No follow through. Much better there.
Leadoff walk.
All 4 balls were up and away to Pagan.
Brings in Panik, who had the sac fly and RBI to deep right center. That was in the 3rd.
Then the Giants rattled off 4 2-out hits.
Astros have a lead over the Mariners at 6-0 in the top of the 5th. Mariners have won 8 in a row. That was Felix Hernandez who made that start. They are 2 back in the wild card. And a strike.
Yeah, and you would think winning 8 in a row that Felix Hernandez would have been red hot. That has not been the case this year. He has been merely mortal many times.
Nationals beat the Braves 7-2. Max Scherzer made that start. Leads in innings and strikeouts. Their magic number is down to 5. Scherzer, 1 loss in his last 12 starts, the St. Louis native. Mentioned the Mets have already won. They posted a victory earlier tonight. That was against Minnesota. That starts a 10-game homestand for the Mets. They've got the Twins, the Braves, and the Phillies. Bartolo Colon went 7 innings in that game.
Normally I don't put too much stock in stuff like that, but it's so unbalanced. Mets playing the much weaker teams. There it is, that high breaking ball this time. Garcia's missing in the same spot. Everything's been up.
Very short lead at first by Pagan. 3 balls and a strike on Joe Panik. Panik missed 23 games earlier this year when he was hit on the head by tonight's starter of the Giants, Matt Moore, when he was with Tampa Bay. Backing up Carpenter, and it drops. Nothing that Pagan can do, and that's the first out. So fielder's choice, 4-6 on that play.
So the Cardinals got the out. As a matter of fact, they have the faster runner off the bases.
Exactly. Here's Posey. Base hit, fought it off into shallow right. Picked up a couple of RBIs in the 3rd. He's now up to 66. He's had a nice series with 5 hits already. Well, now you can make it 6. 2-run homer, Buster Posey. First home run in 185 at bats.
Looking for the fastball, got it, and hammered it. Most of your pitches are going to be predictable, both from Matt Moore or anybody in the bullpen for the Giants, and also the Cardinals. It's easier to hit in games like this because you almost know what's coming most of the time.
An 8-1 San Francisco lead, and now Hunter Pence. Breaking ball, and he struck him out. Out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's Brandon Bell, the double that scored 2. Good curveball.
Maybe you folks have heard many times of the loneliness of a long distance runner. Well, you can explain that further. The loneliness of a pitcher on the mound when things are going poorly. It's a lonely mound out there for the Cardinals right now. 8-1 Giants.
Oh, 2 pitch to Bell, who's 2 for 2. Check swing, and he went. Strikeout of Bell, 2 in the inning, but a 2-run homer by Buster Posey. We head to the 5th. Giants on top, 8-1. Now here in San Francisco, 8-1 our score. Top of 5. A chilly night here at AT&T Park. Jose Martinez will lead it off. And we'll have the top of the lineup. Cardinals will have Mike Leake against Jeff Samardzija tomorrow. Alex Reyes and Albert Suarez going on Sunday. Martinez picked up in a trade with Kansas City at $278 this year at AAA. Jim had a nice interview with Mike Schilt, the AAA manager. You'd love him, Tim. He is kind of that George Kissel mentor Cardinals have now, and working with these young players.
Anytime you mention George Kissel's name, I'm sold.
Good man. So Martinez grounds out to start inning number 5. There's a look at Mike. The term the Cardinal way gets thrown around an awful lot, but there is a book that's handed out to the coaches and minor league managers that Mike put together with many of the sayings and the teachings of George Kissel. As Carpenter pops one foul and out of play. He's part of our Kia in the driver's seat. Highest average against San Francisco since 1920. A-Rod on that list. Manny Ramirez. Pinky Pittenger.
Oh, Pinky.
Yep. One of the greats. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Carpenter with a base hit to left.
You could see one step toward first base, and Matt was wringing that hand, that right hand. Of course, no glove on the hand, and that had to hurt. But you'll Bill Miller handing him a hand warmer. This had to hurt, but Matt will take it right off the end of the bat.
Not many that do not wear batting gloves in this day and age.
No.
Here's Aledmys Diaz, and he takes a ball. Grounded into a 5-4-3 double play back in the first, and also grounded out to short. Pulls it foul. The Cardinals and the Giants have represented the National League in 5 of the last 6 World Series. Giants eliminated the Cardinals in 2012 and 14. They certainly could dent the hopes of the Cardinals' chances this year with what's happening in this series. Out to center, Span makes the catch. 2 outs. Carpenter back to the bag at first. And with 2 outs, it brings in Stephen Piscotty. You thought the Cardinals might start a little rally last inning. Leadoff walk after the 6-run lead given to Matt Moore. Then it was a bloop base hit, RBI single by Molina. And with Peralta ahead in the count, flied out to center, and back-to-back strikeouts, and the threat was through.
Yeah, that kind of stopped what momentum the Cardinals had. Those last 3 hitters in the 4th.
So 2 outs, runner at first, and Piscotty is swinging a miss. Steven, of course, played at Stanford. A lot of family and friends are here. Grew up a huge Oakland A's fan.
That's unusual, too, in this area. Because I'd say even on the Oakland side, they're more Giant fans than A's fans. You go over the East Bay, and Oakland A's play their games in the Oakland Alameda Coliseum.
Affectionately referred to as a dump.
Yeah, that is affectionate. You're right.
Well, when Steven was growing up, you had the Bash brothers, Ricky Henderson and Tony La Russa, and those great A's teams.
Carney Lansford.
Oh yeah, good third baseman.
Good hitter.
Coach for a while with the Cardinals and Tony La Russa. Mike Gallego was a part of that staff for a while.
Bob Welch, one of the pitchers, won 27 in 1990 when La Russa's A's lost to the Cincinnati Reds 4 in a row. Were swept by Lou Piniella and the A's.
3-2. Carpenter off with his pitch with 2 outs.
But the A's did win 4 in a row the year before. That was the Earthquake Series in 1989, beating the San Francisco Giants.
Piscotty with a base hit out to right. Carpenter going from first to third. We were walking in downtown San Francisco today. We had lunch with the great Jim Hayes, and you were telling us how eerie it was walking around as you were covering that World Series for ABC, but after the earthquake, what it was like in the downtown area here in San Francisco.
That was October 17th at 5:04 p.m. And in a weird way, Dan, a lot of people talk about when the World Series starts at 5 o'clock for a night game and players can't see real well and all that. Can you imagine had that earthquake occurred at 5:04 on October 17th in traffic? There would have been 100 times more casualties than there were. But fortunately, as fate would have it, most of the fans were getting home early to watch the Game 3 of the World Series, and casualties were held down. But still a tragic event.
As we were walking around, you were saying that all the windows were blown out on many of the stores in the area.
Particularly at Union Square.
Yeah.
All the windows were down. There was glass all over the sidewalk. Now I remember going to call my father the day after the earthquake. There was no power for 36 hours in a major city. You think about that. And
no cell phones, obviously.
No, this is 1989. And I saw maybe 3 people around Union Square and no one at Fisherman's Wharf. I was by myself in a public phone booth calling my father to tell him everything was all right.
In this city, that's hard to believe.
Unbelievable.
You walk out at any time in the day or night, there's people walking around in this city. And the bases are loaded. Now for me it's in the day. For you it's usually 3 or 4 a.m.
I don't know.
Here it is.
I don't know why I deserve that. There's Canseco scoring. Dave Parker, I believe, a double. And that's when the lights went out.
And think about Al Michaels saying, I think we have an earthquake.
Yeah. The Rio Prieta quake. Once again at 5:04 p.m. October 17th.
That's Terry Steinbach
Terry
there.
Steinbach, right?
And I remember he
Stan Javier, who was named after Stan Musial, Julian Javier's son. Believe me, it was a frightening time. Roger Craig, the manager of the Giants. Steve Bedrosian, one of their stoppers in the bullpen for the Giants.
Well, the Cardinals get one swing of the bat here. They could make it interesting again.
Yes.
George Contos and Josh Osich, a lefty, throwing in the Giants bullpen. Contos, the right-hander. So bases loaded here for Yadier Molina. And that's ball 1. You know, you're Bruce Bochy, you're saying, I'm trying to get Matt Moore through 5. Let him have a chance to get a win. But this late in the season, you can't take chances.
Yeah, there are no feelings but hard feelings at this time. If you can't hold a 7-run lead, you're in trouble.
Absolutely. This crowd again restless. 2-0 the count with the bases loaded. Three 0. If he walks him, I think Bruce Bochy goes to his
He's
pit.
gone. You're right. You almost have no other choice but to go to the right-hander, Cantos.
Three and one. He might take another pitch.
I don't think so. He's going to get that fastball again. I'd say let him have.
Inside. He walks in a run. An RBI for Molina. His second of the night. He's now up to 49. That brings in Carpenter. And it makes it an 8-2 San Francisco lead.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy, he's going to make it as quick as he can. You don't see Bruce Bochy jogging out of the dugout to make a pitching change.
He's not signaled to the bullpen just yet.
I think he's going to take his time and make the umpire. No, that surprised me.
Me too. Might be one of those conversations where he says, you got one more guy.
You know, that's a good point. It might be. Might say that's putting too much pressure on him. Again, now he's got a 6-run lead. If you can't hold a 6-run lead, it doesn't matter what a manager says. You got yourself in this mess without the manager saying anything.
Right. So 2 outs and the bases loaded. You are now just 2 spots away from Jaime Garcia's spot. So Dean Kieckhafer goes down in the bullpen to start the throw. Peralta takes a ball. And
again,
Buster Posey having words with the home plate umpire.
Yeah, again, you're going to get better pitches to hit. He's got a 6-run lead. He's trying to throw the ball down the middle of the plate. Batting practice fastballs.
Here's a 1-0. Here's a 1-1. Almost hit him. And again, it's a hitter's count. 2 balls, 1 strike. Into center. Span calling for it, and he has it. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and we say hello and good evening to Jim Hayes.
Hey, Danny, a little news on Matt Holliday, who's set to face live pitching tomorrow. One of the hurdles he said he had to get over before making a return. Holliday coming back from a fractured thumb, and it's a process. He said, I have soreness. It's clearly not 100%. I have a broken thumb. It's still fractured, but I have a screw in there to make it more stable. Mike Matheny said Holliday's thumb became swollen a couple of times after Matt took regular BP, so they've got to be careful. And Dan, as Holliday told me, I'd love to be playing right now, but I can't risk putting my thumb in a bad situation and not getting back, but they could clearly use his bat, Dan.
I guess timing is everything, huh, Jimmy? Because this game is no Holiday, I'll guarantee you.
That's
for the
true.
Cardinals.
That's true.
So here is Crawford, 8-2 our score. And Jaime Garcia in his second inning of work gave up a home run to Buster Posey, a 2-run shot that made it 8-1 at that point. Now 8-2.
I'd like to reiterate something we talked about a couple of innings ago, that we did not expect to see a game like this during this 4-game series.
No,
certainly wasn't like that last night. A crisply played game, but today is very sloppy, and the Cardinals hope to button things up tomorrow and Sunday. Otherwise, it's sayonara.
Brandon Crawford, we talked about it last night. He grew up a Giants fan. Giants moved to San Francisco in 1958 from New York. They played at the legendary Polo Grounds. Walter O'Malley had the Dodgers and wanted to move west. Major League Baseball said you cannot do that unless you have a team join you, and it was the Giants.
22 years before that, in 1936, a 9-year-old by the name of Vin Scully chose the New York Giants as his favorite team.
And the amazing thing about that, Tim, is that Vin will wrap up his broadcast schedule here in San Francisco. And the irony of that day, it'll be 80 years to the day when he said he first became a baseball fan. And it was October 2nd, 1936. The Giants lose to the Yankees. He was not a Yankee fan. He said, I became a Giants fan. And all these years he's called the Dodgers, but it'll be 80 years to the day when he wraps up his broadcasting duties with the LA Dodgers, October 2nd of 2016.
The game that Vinny saw at the Polo Grounds in New York, Coogan's Bluff, in 1936. The Yankees won that game like 14-2.
Right, won the series in 6.
Yeah, and Vinny wanted to root for the underdog, so he rooted for the underdog Giants. And as everybody knows, the last decade, the Giants have not been underdogs.
No.
Playing anybody.
Been a fun brand of baseball that they play. Bruce Bochy, one of the best managers in the game. 10, 12, and 14, and some believe it's their year again in 16, these even years. So Kiekeffer is up and throwing in the Cardinals' pen. That swung on and missed. Reminder that Friday, September 30th, kids 15 and younger entering with a ticket receive a growth poster featuring Stephen Piscotty. Courtesy of Missouri Farmers Care. After the game, it's fireworks presented by Cooper Tires. It's all coming up September 30th. Contos, the right-hander, back up in the pen for Bruce Bochy's club.
To give you an idea of how the Cardinals have played the last game and a half, the 8th place hitter for the Giants, Denard Span, has walked 4 times. A guy who was 4 for 47 coming into this series.
That can't happen.
It cannot happen. Not in win.
Mac Williamson on the bench for the Giants is at the on-deck circle. He'll be the pinch hitter for Matt Moore. This now in San Francisco, I remember doing games in Candlestick. Not only did you guess the attendance, you named them. There was nobody there.
You knew all first names.
It's unbelievable. You'd be freezing there.
Families.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Moores. There's the Smiths. Great to see you again. And now it's become an event to come to these games. Good breaking ball by Garcia. Picks up his second strikeout in the inning and fourth thus far.
Good breaking ball from Garcia to get Span. And think about the players the Giants had in those days. The days at Candlestick from 1960 to 2000. Willie Mays, Orlando Cepeda we had on earlier.
You know, doesn't it make it more amazing the numbers that Willie Mays put up hitting in that ballpark?
Oh yeah, it changed his swing.
Right.
To go to right field to take advantage of the wind because you couldn't hit the ball out with a howitzer to left field.
There's strike one to Mac Williamson.
Willie McCovey. What a terrifying hitter.
One of the longest home runs ever hit at Busch 2.
That's right. In 1966. Yours truly called it. Curveball from Alvin Jackson, who called Willie after the game and said, Willie, when a guy hits a home run off me that's hit that far, I don't usually call him, but I just had to today. That's a true story. And there's Mac right there.
He comes to every game.
Every game. He's a fixture here.
Well, Garcia strikes out the side. And 5 in 2 innings of work. The great Willie McCovey. McCovey's cold. It's 8-2 San Francisco. Season at Busch Stadium Wednesday, September 28th. It's St. Louis Blues Night. Purchase of this special Blues Night themed ticket, you'll receive an exclusive Blues Cardinals themed hat. So get your Blues Night themed tickets now at cardinals.com/theme. Here's George Contos, the right-hander for the Giants in our Chevy Cole to the pen.
I know it sounds a little strange, but here's Randal Grichuk up. This is the type pitcher that Randal Grichuk should be able to handle because he's all fastballs. Occasional breaking ball, but for the most part, heat.
Grichuk is 0 for 2 today. And the first pitch is strike. Top of the 6th, 8-2 San Francisco. So the Giants and the Dodgers leave the New York area leaves them with one team. That was the breaking ball, cut off by Nunez. Nice play. Then you had the Mets come into existence in 1962. As Jonathan Broxton starts to throw in the Cardinals pen, Canto's 54th appearance this year. Jeremy Hazelbaker will be the pinch hitter for Jaime Garcia, as he went 2 innings and gave up the home run by Posey, but 5 strikeouts along the way.
Cardinals trying to find anything positive over the last game and a half, and it's tough.
Thing about this trip too, Tim, is that you go to Colorado, and I don't care if the Rockies are a 70-win team or a 100-win team. It's just always been the case at Coors Field. It's one of the toughest places to play.
For everybody.
Everybody. And that 1 through 8 in their lineup is really good.
You got that right.
Here's a 1-1.
Well, the Cardinals just simply have to get off the mat. It's up to them.
The fog starting to roll in here at AT&T.
Full moon, fog, and an 8-2 deficit.
They built this ballpark. We're talking about Candlestick. They did so many studies of wind and how things would be at this ballpark to try to make it an atmosphere that a fan could sit through. And it was tough to sit through some of those nights at Candlestick. And the original version of this did not have the stadium the way that it's designed right now. It was actually about 15 degrees going towards right field, pointing towards the bay. And they took a chance, said, all right, we're going to turn this the other way 15 degrees from the original design, and boy, did it pay off.
Yeah, it was a brilliant piece of architecture and has lasted since the year 2000. It is something.
We get fans that ask us all the time, and they say, what, you know, where should we go? Check out the Cardinals on the road. This would probably be my top destination to send a fan.
Too. Mine too.
Great city, things to do, wonderful ballpark, good teams. 3-2 pitch. And a foul ball.
Well, that ball was almost fair.
Sure was.
Ball hit right to the right of home plate as Buster Posey sees it. It's an odd play. Buster thinking about getting it before it rolls foul, but it just trickled off the plate. Foul ball.
Three-two pitch. Strikeout of Hazelbaker. So Cantos has got the first 2 here in the top of the 6th. Brings in Martinez. And the breaking ball for a strike. Martinez, a big guy. He's about 6'5". Seems like if you get a guy that's 6'5", 6'6", more times than not, they're on the mound and not in the field.
Or at first base.
Or at first base.
If they're a position player.
Right.
It is certainly not a size to be a catcher, for instance.
Sure.
Middle infielders, it would look unusual.
0-2 pitch. Crawford to his left, and he makes the play. On Fox Sports Midwest, Fox and FS1. First on Fox, Red Sox and Yankees, then FS1, Tigers and Cleveland, and the day wraps up with the Cardinals and the Giants right here on Midwest at 7:30. Watch all the games live on Fox Sports Go as Jonathan Broxton is our new pitcher. New catcher is Carson Kelly. Carson made one start. That was on Sunday. Made his debut in Pittsburgh. And he comes in for Yadier Molina. 8-2 our score. Angel Pagan is at the plate.
See if Jonathan Broxton can break that habit. Not really a habit. More an unfamiliar feeling of throwing two balls to the first hitter he faces. It seems like every time he's out there.
And all of a sudden you're playing catch up and you're dealing with hitters' counts.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of fans watching tonight wondering, okay, what can the Cardinals do? So if you're Mike Matheny, you play for 6 months, you've been with each other for 7 months, you're losing 8-2 in games that you really need to win. Long way to go for Martinez. Nice play in foul territory.
Boy, good play is right. That's another one of the dangers. Now think if the pitcher had thrown the ball while Martinez was going after the ball. It's right between the pitcher and the catcher.
Boy, great point.
Fortunately, they had stopped throwing. But that's why, you know, mounds do not belong on the field of play. And baseball should do everything in their power to get rid of them.
That's a great point. So, you're Mike Matheny.
Right.
What can you do? I mean, it's such a long season. And normally, if this game happens in June, July, you say, well, it's just part of the 162. But this is different.
Yeah, but there's nothing Matheny can do. The one thing Matheny can do to help the Cardinals is to put the best team out there. Aledmus Diaz is going to be my shortstop until we're out of it. That's the way I would play it. If Johnny Peralta's hurt and he shows every indication that he's not swinging the bat, get somebody else out there and put the best players you have at their positions and let them fight it out. They deserve the privilege of doing that. And that's why they're in it with 15 games left to play after tonight.
There's one of them, as Jim reported on Holiday being a little bit closer to coming back.
If Matt's ready and he started the season, put him out there.
Sure. Well, Broxton has gotten 2 quick outs. Crowd tonight 41,278. 481st consecutive sellout here at AT&T Park. Two and one. These two know each other. Broxton's days as a closer with the Dodgers. Posey, longtime catcher here in San Francisco. This guy is some kind of player.
7 hits in his last 9 at bats. Former MVP, Rookie of the Year.
Now Hunter Pence. Ground ball that's hit to short. Diaz will take it himself. Scoreless inning for Jonathan Broxton. Sends us to the 7th. 8-2 San Francisco. An outdoors leaderboard this season. The Giants first half just tremendous. Second half 21-35. They could be the first team in baseball history to go into the break with the best record and finish with the second half being the worst in baseball.
The toughest sell of that particular graphic would be to the Cardinals themselves, the way the Giants have played the last 2 nights.
Absolutely. This is our Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Here's Greg Garcia, and Josh Osich is the new pitcher for San Francisco. It's our Chevy call to the pen. Trevor Rosenthal starting to throw in the Cardinals bullpen.
I think Trevor could be what Cardinal fans consider a sight for sore eyes.
Could really help bridge the gap in that middle relief department.
Yeah, right.
to get him back to where he was. And here's a guy that saved 48 games a year ago.
Yeah. But it's got to be quick, Dan.
Two 2-0 on Garcia. Numbers for Osich. Lefties hitting just 139 this year.
As everybody knows, time is not an ally of the Cardinals right now.
Nope. Two and one the count. This is something, and we talked about it last night, that Garcia does time and again, whether he comes off the bench or starts, works a count. He's walking about 15% of his plate appearances, which is very high. 3-2.
It's a common count for him to get as a pinch hitter.
Yeah.
Which is very unusual.
Hit out of play. Giants started play tonight, 4 games back of the Dodgers, with 6 games remaining against LA.
Yeah, they end the season with 3 here in San Francisco against the hated Dodgers.
And he draws a leadoff walk.
And Bruce Bochy saying, oh no, not again. 6-run lead and a walk. Poisonous, venomous to a pitching staff and to a manager.
Corey Guerin will be the new pitcher. We'll step aside. It's 8-2. Corey Guerin last Friday at Arizona, 3rd pitcher in the history of baseball to play the outfield and get a save in the same game. Diaz flies out to left and Angel Pagan. His ERA not pretty. Over his last 16 appearances, it is over 11.
Aren't too many outfielders who throw sinkers. But Garrett was one of them that night. How does he throw? Well, he's got a good sinker. Well, wait a minute. A sinker for a left fielder? What?
Wait a minute here. What's going on? Here's Piscotty with 1 out, runner at first. Whitey Herzog used to do that all the time. You know, he'd put Todd Worrell in to face one guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put him in the outfield.
Yeah.
Then
bring him back in.
Yeah. Oh, 1 pitch. Hey, you never know. You might see a throw over here. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Tapped foul. One of the very good bright spots this year for the Cardinals has been the emergence of Stephen Piscotty. Leads the club in RBIs and hits. He will be a keeper. Right over the shoulder of Laz Diaz, former Marine home plate umpire. Went to the Hunter Wintelstadt School of Umpiring. Then he umpired all the way through the lower stages of the minor leagues to get to the major leagues.
Talk about paying your dues.
Oh, yeah.
Semper Fi. Suppose he wants it away. Put it right in the heart of the mitt.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Good pitch.
Actually, a worse pitch than the pitch before, but Piscotty goes for it. First strikeout for Guerin.
Here's Jerko with 2 outs and a runner at first. Left-handed pitcher Matt Reynolds getting loose in the pen for San Francisco. Rosenthal plenty loose now. Had been just standing on the mound, and now a couple more tosses. We'll see him in the bottom of the 7th.
Every time I see Trevor's number 44, I think of all the great hitters that have worn that number, including Willie McCovey, Henry Aaron. '44, synonymous with great hitters, power hitters, some of the great players in the history of the game.
I also think of the Cardinals' all-time saves leader in Jason Isringhausen. He wore number 44. Speaking of great hitters, most home runs against the Giants. Stan the Man with 89.
Some of those games played in the Polo Grounds.
Stan the Man.
The Man. Never more appropriate name for a man to play any sport.
Ground ball deep in the hole. Crawford, force play. And it's time to stretch here in game number 2. All Giants, 8-2 our score. $30,000 fans take home a bobblehead of the 2006 World Series MVP David Eckstein, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Deerbergs. You can also start planning ahead with your 2017 Cardinals Magnet schedule, presented by Shelter Insurance. Don't miss the last weekend of the regular season. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Chevy called to the pen, takes us to Trevor Rosenthal. Santiago Casilla throwing in the San Francisco bullpen. Brandon Belt at the plate. Rosenthal had tenderness in the forearm and issues. And he said the other day after throwing on the side that he felt great. So it's the best he's felt all year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Those that saw him the other day, Tim, and he was throwing to live hitters, they did not have a gun on him, but they thought he was hitting 98 to 100.
Oh, I would think so. I mean, not unusual. And I'm sure not a lot of Cardinal hitters wanted to get in to hit against him.
No. So you're dealing with a sore thumb, huh? Well, Trevor needs some work, so go get him.
Yeah.
Two and two the count. Tough year for Trevor Rosenthal. Fastball, and blew it by him. First strikeout here in the bottom of the 7th.
The guy you are seeing on the mound, number 44, probably, not probably, but he has the greatest stuff of any mop-up pitcher. And that's really what he's doing right now, even though the Cardinals are 6 runs back. I mean, can they catch the Giants? Well, Giants can run that deep bullpen at them. That's why they've got Casillas warming up. He's their closer. But I mean, it's really a good thing to see Trevor Rosenthal throwing the ball as well as he's throwing it.
Seeing pitches down. That's something that he did not do earlier this year.
Or explosive like that.
Yeah.
And once again, the best gauge of how well a pitcher is throwing is the hitter.
Here's a 1-1. We were talking during the commercial break about Crawford. Makes that play in the hole to get the force play at second to end the top of this inning. He made it look routine.
Lightning fast hands. And he had to turn around to do it too. Once again, Dan, you and I were talking about how shortstops make that transfer none any quicker in the major leagues than Brandon Crawford.
3-2 the count. Cardinals perspective, this is a bright spot in this game. Rosenthal looks
well
good.
Well put, pardon.
Fouled back.
Thing is, if you're Mike Matheny, I mean, and you're seeing it out of him, I don't think you want to pitch him more than 1 inning.
Couple of reasons. Go out on a good note if he has a 1, 2, 3, but then able to bring him back.
Bring him back tomorrow. Sunday at the latest.
The Cardinals cannot come back. They would be 2 out in the wild card behind the Mets. Good fastball at 98.
Now these are pitches that good left-handed hitters, even though they're in a bit of a slump, but good left-handed hitters know what's coming and still can't catch up to the fastball. That's why it's good news to Mike Matheny and Trevor Rosenthal and Derek Lilliquist, their pitching coach.
Tim, this is as good as he's looked in months. Ball is jumping out of his hand.
It is. Slider.
Gets the ground ball to Diaz. And a 1, 2, 3 for Rosenthal in his return. ERA, 4 home runs allowed, 3 blown saves in his last 10 games. So he is pitching in the 8th inning tonight. 58th appearance on the year.
Get the feeling Bruce Bochy does not know who his closer is. They probably don't have one. It's whoever's that night trying to work his bullpen back into some sort of form, and Casillas the main guy.
First pitch to Carson Kelly, popped up on the outfield grass. Panic puts it away for the out. With all the options that he has too, with all the relievers they're carrying, it might be just matchups from here on out.
Sure. Yeah, when you have that many guys in the bullpen, it's not efficiency through numbers.
No. Here's Peralta, 8-2 our score. 1 out, nobody on. Now Casilla does have 31 saves overall, 6th most in the National League. It's the lefties that have been getting to him. 6 for their last 13 off of him. Righties hitting just 179. But 8 blown saves this year, most by a Giants pitcher since Armando Benitez in 2006. Quickly, 0-2 the count. Dean Kiekefer, the Cardinals lefty. He's getting loose in the pen. The slider misses. On the air tomorrow night, 8:05 St. Louis time, 7:30 with the pregame show. 1 o'clock start on Sunday. The 2-2 pitch to Peralta.
That term, pardon me, Dan, that term sinker slider certainly applies to Casilla. That sinker to right-handers bores in on the hands, and the slider slides away. It's a very descriptive way that players have of describing a certain pitcher. That was the slider sliding away.
2 down.
Johnny Peralta with a broken bat base hit his first time up, but he is not swinging right.
No. See that thumb is affecting it.
I would be hard pressed to think that thumb were totally healthy. Remember the dropped ball at third base last night, very telling.
That slider to Grichuk could be a tough pitch for him to handle.
Mm-hmm.
A 1-2 the Cardinals center fielder. Fastball catches the corner. 0-2. And he struck him out. Sends us to the bottom of the 8th, and the Giants on top.
on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Michelob Ultra, brewed for those who go the extra mile, and by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Oakland Bay Bridge, beautiful night here in the Bay Area.
Guess who I just ran into?
I have no idea.
One flap down, Jeffrey Leonard.
Oh, no, did you?
He was just outside.
Oh, Jeffrey. Jeffrey caught the first pitch thrown by Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Tonight. How about that? Kevin Durant, a new member of the San Francisco Warriors.
Golden State Warriors.
Golden State Warriors, I beg your pardon. Thank you. Used to play in the Cow Palace here out near Candlestick. Now they're over at the Oracle Arena right next to the Coliseum where the Oakland A's play. But they are building a brand new arena on this side of the bay. We understand. Don't know how it's coming along, but vaguely about maybe a year away or so.
And then there's the Raiders, led by Mark Davis. Really one of the great haircuts in professional sports. And they
you
may
like,
be.
You like that do, huh?
I do.
You do.
I do. And they're talking about moving to Vegas.
Good boy.
Yes, sir.
Mark Davis, the son of the late Al Davis.
Ground ball, and that's handled by Garcia for the first out.
As a matter of fact, we even thought about using that for the opener tonight. You know, just win, baby, just win. As I am looking at that hairdo of Mark Davis now, and you're right. It's
beautiful.
Lovely.
It's a great look.
Oh, man.
Wow.
He goes to a gardener to get that haircut.
Here's Garcia, puts that away. Kelby Tomlinson was the hitter. Nissan drive of the game back in the fourth off of Jaime Garcia, 2-run shot. And Posey has had a huge series in this all-important series. Angel Pagan with 2 outs and nobody on. Matt Reynolds, another lefty, getting loose in the pen for the Giants. A 6-run bottom of the third. And that has been the difference in this game. You know, you had the challenge at first base, which would have given the Cardinals a lead. The ball hit by Diaz, nearly beat it out. Run scored, and then that was taken off the board with the challenge, and then the following inning, the bottom half, Luke Weaver, the walks didn't help. Molina had a play that he tried to get a runner at second base, threw it into center field, and then the wheels came off. A little bit low.
The Cardinals cannot make up mistakes that they make defensively because they don't have enough offense right now. Not in this ballpark. Their home runs have been denied.
Out to center, and Kiekefer has a 1-2-3, bottom of the 8th. Pulled back up from their AAA affiliate in Sacramento, signed a minor league deal with the Giants back in June after he was released by Arizona. He's had parts of 6 major league seasons. He's been with the Rockies and the Diamondbacks, and now with the San Francisco Giants. Blanco takes over in left. Gorkys Hernandez is in right, and Brown is your new catcher. The pinch hitter is Colton Wong, and we're underway here in the top of the ninth. Reynolds is 6'5", 240 pounds, and a fan has made his way onto the playing field. He's now in right center. He's now moving to center. He is circling the outfield.
Yeah, if you're a fan, you got to be able to run faster than that guy. I mean, now he's given up. You know he's not in shape. Got a belly on him.
Oh, and security all over him. They both slide, and
we might have to have that replayed in New York.
Whether or not he's out or safe.
Yeah, right. Oh. People get that loudmouth soup in them.
Well, per our rules, we do not show the individual that has made his way onto the field. So,
and we never will.
All right, 1 ball, 1 strike on Colton Wong, and now the guards and security making their way back to their positions. And here we go. Breaking ball that's taken high. Looked like the security guard going after the individual may have hurt himself, hurt his ankle.
Yeah, that's one of the side effects of people who continue to interrupt on the field of play. Ridiculous.
So 2-2 the count. And Wong pops it up. Foul territory. Belt playable for the out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. So look at the Palace of Fine Arts, that shot we just had. Here's Martinez. Sergio Romo starting to throw in the Giants' pen. He has not pitched since September 11th. One ball and 1 strike with 1 out and nobody on. Tomorrow night, very important game. Mike Leake, Jeff Samardzija. You're getting into that category where you say must win.
Yeah.
It's getting close.
Yeah, it's not a leap into the exaggerated area to say that.
Last time the Cardinals saw Samardzija allowed 4 home runs in a start against St. Louis. Moss, Diaz, Piscotty, and Adams all took him deep. Former Cub and A. Jeff Samardzija and White Sox. Panic. Makes the play. So the Cardinals down to their final out. We turn to our Budweiser player of the game. It is Buster Posey, 3 for 4 tonight. 2-run homer, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored. You know, Tim, you think about series like this and you look for big players to step up, your stars, and he has done that so far.
Yes, he has. 7 for 9, 4 for 5 last night. 3 hits tonight. First home run and 185 at bats. Two 2-0 the count with 2 outs and nobody on. Garcia, first time up, drew a walk. Two and 2. Garcia on base for the second time tonight, drawing 2 walks.
2 walks on 2 3-2 counts, during which he saw what, 17 pitches?
Right.
Huh.
These birds are something else. They know that the Cardinals are down to their final strike and they start to fly around the ballpark.
Big baseball fans.
Absolutely.
The world's greatest athletes. They fly among us. I read that initially when I was reading a biography on the Wright brothers last year. Seriously. And they considered birds the greatest athletes on earth.
Shallow right center, and Span is there. 8-2 the final, so the Giants have taken the first 2 in this series. So you look ahead to game number 3 tomorrow. Mike Leake, Jeff Samardzija. This game takes 2 hours and 57 minutes. And the Giants extend their lead over the Cardinals in the wild card race.
Dan, you remember the last time the Cardinals played at Wrigley Field and they lost the first 2 games. And then they came back to win the next 2 games. And that was a key point in this. This is one of the reasons they're in contention right now. Those 2 games that they won in Chicago. And that's what they hope to do to Bruce Bochy's bunch tomorrow night and Sunday.
Look at the updated standings in the wild card. Cardinals 2 back. Post-game show next.